Hey everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tony, and back in the day when I was young and rambunctious out there, I had a friend of mine used to call me Tony, Tony, Tony has done it again. I don't know if y'all remember the group Tony, 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 but they were a real big smash back in my day. Anyway, I decided to make this video to try to enlighten the young generation, okay? And in particular, I wanted to talk about something that I noticed maybe about a month ago. Okay, I am a 67-year-old veteran, disabled vet. Okay, plus I'm a retired car salesman. Now, when you're retired at 67 years old, really, I actually retired like 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. Like 2018, I think, is the last year that I actually worked. But one of the things that I learned after I retired was if you're not careful, life can be boring. Okay? You don't have anything to do. You get up in the morning, have breakfast or whatever, and sit in front of the television all day. Well, when the summer months come, I have a little something extra to do. I maintain my yard. I maintain the lady next door to me yard. I maintain the lady next door to her yard. And I maintain the lady on the other corner. My house is on one side of the corner, and Kim's house is next door on the other side of the corner. I did her yard as well. And I have an old friend that recently bought a house. I do her yard. Okay? So the last time, well, goodness, I don't even know how to talk about the house that she bought. She bought a really nice house in terms of the outward appearance. The house looks good. And on the inside, you could tell that it was basically refurbished, or remodeled or whatever. And it is really, really nice. But one of the things that I noticed about the house, two things I have a problem with. It ain't my house, it's her house. And maybe I don't have a right to say anything like this, but I'm going to say it anyway because I wish that she had done what I did. I'm the type of man. I go to church, not every Sunday, but I have read the entire Bible, and there are there's some wisdom in the words of the Bible. And one of the things that I remember popping into my head when I was looking to buy a home, which was over 10 years ago, was that there is safety in the multitude of counselors. And what does that mean? That means that you don't know every doggone thing. None of us. No one knows. We're not born with a head full of knowledge and experiences. You know, Hopefully our experiences in life will teach us. You know what I mean? But there are some things that you don't really need to be taught. You just need to listen and do as instructed. And so that was my thing when I got ready to purchase a home. I wanted to seek out the counsel of at least three people. The three people, one was my older sister. She's a homeowner and she's doing really good. She's a retired registered nurse now. The second person that I talked to was the owner of the car dealership that I worked at. This dude is rich. He's a millionaire, okay? Probably multi-millionaire. Easy to talk to, okay? And the third person was the office manager at the dealership. I spoke to these three people, and they gave me what I called sound advice. And I listened to them. Okay? Right now, I have my house equity has went up in the last since 2013 when I bought this house. Now I'm sitting on $160,000 worth of equity, and I only owe like $80,000 on the house. The house is in an excellent location. I got a corner lot, you know what I mean, in a really decent neighborhood. There's no drugs being sold on the corners or anything like that. You know what I mean? It's just family oriented, quiet, peaceful type of neighborhood. It's hard to even find somebody dog barking in the middle of the night around here. Okay, most of the people keep the dogs in the house anyway. So anyway, when I went over to my homegirl's house to do her yard, I looked at her property. First of all, the area that she bought the house in. She bought a house straight up in the hood. Okay? A house that will probably never have any appeal to, I don't know, even I'm trying to choose my words carefully. Okay, I don't want to offend or whatever. But basically, to me, the area where the house is a low income area, which we call the hood. Well, why would you buy a house in the hood? I have no idea. But she was, she wanted a house. She needed a house. Okay. And I guess she just rushed. And maybe she had a realtor who just, hey, you dummy, you got good credit. I'm gonna sell you this house, even though I know that this house will never match what you put into it because of the location of the house, the zip code, the area code, whatever. Okay, but anyway, as I pulled up in front of the house, I looked at this house, I looked at the property, and the first thing I noticed were the trees. Okay, over to the left front of the house, there looks like a pecan tree that's 50, 60 years old. It is huge, and the branches extend over the top of her house. That's on the left front of the house. If you walk down the driveway to go into the backyard, right on the rear corner, the right rear corner of the house, is another huge pecan tree. When I say huge, I mean this tree is like, ooh, it is huge. You can't even hug it. It's so huge. And with limbs hanging over the top of the house. So anyway, she wasn't home. I did the yard, okay? And then maybe about 3 weeks later, she contacted me. William, can you come do my yard again? No sweat, okay? I go over there to do the yard, and at this particular time, she is home. So while I'm outside doing the yard, she comes out and starts a little, small talk. How you been? Yada, yada, yada. Good to see you. Appreciate you and all of that. I'm like, yeah, no problem. You know what I'm saying? You my homegirl. I got your back. Okay? And then I said, boo, sweetie, whatever. You're going to have a problem with these trees. And she says, I know exactly what you mean. On the day that I closed on this house, when I got back home, there was a tree branch from the tree on the right rear corner had already crashed in through the ceiling. Why didn't you seek counsel before buying this house? I've been knowing this woman for over 10 years. Okay? I remember one time I was at the dealership sitting in my office, and I got a phone call from a loan company. And the loan company told me what they were calling about. It was as a reference for her. And I told the lady on the phone, hold on a minute, let me speak to her. And when she gave my friend the phone, I told her, get your behind out of that damn loan company that's going to bust your head on interest and come here to the dealership. I got you. So why would you go out and buy? You got somebody in your corner that's going to help you and give you words of wisdom. Why did you go out and buy this house? This house going to actually, and for God forbid anything bad happens, other than what has already happened. You just bought this house and you already got to pay now for roof repairs because a big limb, almost big as me, and I'm 5'9", I think of like 185 pounds, you know what I mean, done crashed through the roof. And when she said this happened on the day that I actually signed for the house, went to the closing. I'm like, oh my God. And I said, well, have you, contacted anybody about having the tree removed? She says, yeah, the first person I talked to told me $10,000. The only thing I had to say was one word. I just looked her in the eye, and the only thing I could muster up to say was, damn. There's a blessing for you when you seek counsel of other people. Do you think I got all of this gray hair for nothing? In the Bible, it talks about gray hair. It said that it is a crown of grace. A crown of grace. With grace, you got wisdom. I used to tell young women that came to the dealership by themselves, you should not be here alone. I am the salesman that's going to treat you like either your dad, your uncle, or your older brother. And I am going to tell you 100% the truth. I did not go to the dealership to sell cars to cheat people, beat people down, and then go to the break room later on with the other salesman and brag about it. That's the type of stuff that happens at car dealerships. I went to work and I did just what the Bible said. Do your work as you would do it unto God. And that's what I did. I tried to help people. I tried to give them words of wisdom. I never tried to push a bad car on somebody just because I wanted a commission. And still, I ended up being the top salesman for 3 years running before I retired. Just by being straight up with people, giving people good advice. I'll never forget, I had a young lady from my church come to the dealership. Oh, Mr. William, brother so and so, so happy to see you. I'm like, girl, what you doing up here? I'm looking for so and so. I'm trying to get this. I saw this car online and I decided to come by and check it out. I went and got the keys. We went on a test drive, came back to the dealership. She said, I like it, Mr. William. I said, have you talked to Bishop? That's our pastor. I said, have you talked to Bishop about this? She's like, no. I said, you might want to get his advice. She took that car and I allowed her to go by herself to drive the car from the car dealership to our church where the pastor was there, our bishop, and about 45 minutes went by. She came back to the dealership and I said, what did he say? And she looked at me and she said, he said, I don't know where you got this car, but you better take it back over there right now. You don't need this. You can't afford this, yada, yada, yada. He gave her words of wisdom. Wisdom can sometimes be like castor oil. Castor oil for us older people was our moms and grandmamas' home remedy. You better not go in there talking about your stomach feel funny or you think you coming down with a cold. They got something for you. It's a tablespoon of castor oil and it is like a tablespoon of motor oil. It is just nasty. But you woke up the next morning feeling good. Home remedy. So wisdom can be like that. Sometimes it can be kind of nasty to hear it, but if you just listen, learn to listen. There is a reason why God gave us two ears and one mouth. He wants us to listen twice as much as we speak. And on that note, I'm going in the kitchen and get me something to eat. Y'all want something? Come on by. I got you. But anyway, this is my name is William. This is my first YouTube video ever. Okay, I saw a video earlier that kind of motivated me and let me know that there are people out there that need to hear a wiser man, a older man. And I'm not trying to plagiarize somebody else. I know that there's a guy from Dubai who has a YouTube channel called Ask an Older Man. Well, I'm going to name my YouTube channel My Two Cents. And I just gave it to you. I love you. Like, subscribe, comment. I'm here for you, boo. Talk to y'all later. Peace.